Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato. Brian, you can see it right there. We are on the turf this afternoon. 6 turf races. Boy, we had a good one yesterday, but it's going to be really exciting today.
Yeah, that's a beautiful picture right there. And, we ran one turf race yesterday, and I think everybody was very, very complimentary about it and played well. We watched it live, and it looked like it just never lost anything. So it's just back and exciting. And the other thing we mentioned, too, don't forget, this is not a new turf course. It's just, we've been off of it for a little bit. So I think it plays if you've had success on this turf course, because we saw that yesterday with the winner of that race. It's going to play out. So take note of that in your handicapping.
Yeah, so, and with that said, we can't wait for those turf races. As a matter of fact, the first race is going to be on the turf. But let's check out the Rainbow Six situation.
We got
150,000, right?
150. So it's going to grow quick now as we've got these turf races back that Ronnie said, these deep, competitive, full fields on the grass, all the horizontal wagers. We saw it in the pick fives yesterday with that carryover, $513,000 they bet. These pools are going to blow way up now. That's great to see. And there's the Rainbow in race 5. Ronnie will have a ticket for you.
Yeah, well, so that's a kickoff, as Brian said, race number 5. Let's get to this first. It's going to be a mile on the turf. These are maiden optional claim at 2-year-olds. That optional ticket's $50,000. Great way to start the day. No scratches, jockey changes. Brian put together an early pick 5 ticket.
$7.50 on that early pick 5 ticket. We'll have a single off the rip here, which we'll get to. The spreads, I use that term loosely. 4-horse field in race 2. I'll use 3 of them. Gypsy Kitten was always my top pick. That one does stay in. Sea Hunter is my long shot play today for Jack Sisterson. Not a huge price. I struggled to come up with a lot of value today. Baby Billy is a single for Jack. A nice, exciting prospect down here. And another single as well. My best bet of the day. That's a good single in race 5. The best distance, 5-1 on the morning line.
5-1 on the morning line, very affordable, $7.50. And going back to this first race mile on the turf maiden optional claim is, I do too go with the 3 in here, who's 8-5 on the morning line. What I saw, Brian, when I handicapped this race was an awful lot of speed, and this one is dropping to the 50 level, stretching out to the mile. He tracked solid fractions last time out, weakened as the favorite. That was his 7-furlong debut on the Woodbine turf. Jonathan Thomas, MCL Jaramillo in the saddle today, making the second. So I just thought this horse sits the trip today.
Yeah, 8-5 on the morning. I wouldn't shock me if this horse is 4-5. I mean, this horse has turf form, and that's huge. And not only that, it was a pretty fast race, a maiden special weight up at Woodbine. None of these others have that in their pocket like Imposter Syndrome does.
The current favorite very, very early in the wagering right now is Super Silver Dollars, the son of Cantharos, debuting for Mr. Marcassi. What I liked about this horse to put him in second, and so did Brian. He's got a couple of solid workouts showing up at our training facility, Palmettos, on the turf course. Julian Leperoux will be in the handle that outside post.
This is a live oak homebred that's a half to soup and sandwich. He ran in the Kentucky Derby, and this is the other foal. So, I mean, obviously there's a big-time pedigree in here. This draw is a real problem. Now, don't forget, as you start seeing these mile and 7.5 furlong turf races here at Gulfstream Park, outside draws, not good. You better break alertly.
I want to mention the 8 Ready for Diamonds, the son of More Than Ready, debuting on the turf, prompt to pace, and finished third against state-bred runners, going to mile 70 on the Tapeta, trained by Ken Sweezy, who won the turf race yesterday. Ken Sweezy, you can take the blinkers off. Miguel Vasquez in the saddle.
Yeah, this horse is a half to Lemieux, who's okay on the turf and did some good things up at Woodbine, so maybe this wakes this one up a little bit.
You got a stat on the 4 here? Rotterdam?
Oh, yeah. Not the best stat for Ralph Nix, who does a good job. Popped with a firster the other day. First turf, 1 for 30. Maybe we need to watch one here because Rotterdam does have a good, solid race coming down from Laurel when trained by Brittany Russell.
Well, race number 2 this afternoon is going to be about a mile and an eighth on the Tapeta. Maiden claim is 3 and up, 12-5. We had a scratch. Somehow this happened. You will find out. The 1, the 4, the 5, and the 7 have been scratched. David Baracco is on the 6, so it turned out to be a 4-horse field. And you always had Gypsy Kitten on top. I had the inside horse in there, Cantalate. Gypsy Kitten, 4-year-old son of Kitten's Joy, debuting for Safi. Lasix.
Check this stat out. This is wild as I was pulling this up and just kind of sifting through formulators. Safi's 4 for 4 debuting for Gulfstream Tapeta routes for the Ramseys. That's impossible. This is that horse. The value's gone. Listen, he's a soon-to-be 5-year-old making his debut. Not great. obviously he's in for 12.5. That this is a wild stat.
Yeah, and high jump Charlie stretching out. He rallied to finish third at 8.5 furlongs. Rodney Pitts is the trainer. Kevin Krieger in the saddle. Brian used the 3 on his ticket. And that's the other one is the 8. They all seem to figure in that race. 2, 3, and number 8. Third race this afternoon. We're back on the turf. It's 5 furlongs. It's a turf allowance for optional claimer for 2-year-olds. The optional tag $75,000. Did have a scratch in here of the number 7. Take Care of Business. I and Brian both went with C. Hunter, who came from off the pace to win his 5 furlong career debut on the Topita. He's another one. He's going to sit in the catbird seat behind the hot pace expected for Jack Sisterton, ready for this performance. Got that bullet work.
Yeah, and this horse has got top and bottom turf, and Jack doesn't win first out. So to see this horse fire, he ran very well. I was actually talking to Jack, and he said, the number came up so slow, and there was a race before and after where they went slower, and the buyers were like in the low 70s. We've talked about this a lot, that the figures are a little sometimes tough to trust on the Topita. I think everybody's still kind of figuring it out. You see Christensen came back to win. He's in here as well. I expect to move up from C. Hunter. We'll see what kind of price we get today.
You got No Name Dude in second. This one from Jose D'Angelo, going to debut on the turf today. Tried the juvenile sprint on the Topita going 7 last time out.
Yeah, I mean, the Topita win 2 back in the Hollywood Beach was a strong effort. I think it was by far his best effort, at least on figures, and he's a stakes winner. And now he's going to try turf. We don't know if he can handle it, but to run so well on the Topita says to me, you know what? I think he'll get over this turf course well.
I got to show you the performance of number 4, 3 Zeros, turning back today to 5 furlongs after breaking from post 12. We're going to show you the start here. He breaks so sharply from post 12 that I wanted to show it. He just gets right out of the gate. It was a really good performance. And then we're just going to give you a little beauty part of it at the end when he just draws off like an international good thing to win this race. And he was a price that afternoon. I think he was 17 to 1 or something like that.
Yeah. I was hoping for a jiggy jog here.
Well, they actually put jiggy jog, I think, but in there.
This is a big effort. And I'll tell you what, if he breaks like that today over this turf course going 5 furlongs, it could be game over because speed is going to play in these sprints.
And for all the Godfather fans, I got the number 3 Barzini in third, the number 3. Stepping up to face winners, he drew clear to defeat maiden special race. That was going 5.5 on the Laurel turf for Mr. Mike Trombetta. Edwin Gonzalez in the saddle.
Godfather?
Yeah, Barzini. He's the one he was the guy that they had to whack him, for lack of a better term. If you know the Godfather, Barzini is the guy from the rival family, we'll put it that way. Fourth race this afternoon is 6.5 furlongs, fast main track, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds, no scratches in this race. I'll tell you that much. And Brian, both of us went with Baby Billy, now in the Jack Sisterton barn. The gelded son of Gormley debuts locally, finished second. He was beaten ahead in back-to-back 6 furlong, those restricted maiden special weight races at Churchill.
That's the thing you have to know, and I'm glad you did. Those are restricted races where for horses, that didn't sell for RN8, I think for $45,000 or so. So they were not open company maidens. We're an open company maiden here. With that being said, that last race was so fast. That last race would win 98% of open maiden special weights. He was a month clear of the 3rd place finisher. Jack takes over from Norm Cassie. The rail could be slightly problematic, but I'll tell you what, these firsters better be able to run if they're going to handle Baby Billy.
Well, we got 2 first-time starters in here from Kelly Breen, Scaramanga, and Burlone. So which one did you go with, or did you just use both?
Well, I went with Scaramanga. We'll take a look at a stat here, too, for Kelly Breen. And Kelly does some good stuff. And these are 2- and 3-year-olds. I wanted to limit this sample because, Kelly has a lot of good, solid young horses. And obviously the 2-year-olds are soon to be 3. We'll see him run a bunch of them at the championship meet. 16% with a positive ROI. I think that's a pretty solid stat. I don't like to play jockeys musical chairs, Ronnie, but Miguel Vasquez is on the 5. He's our leading rider. You got to take note of that.
The number 7 Roulette is the son of Good Magic, debuting for Todd Pletcher with a string of solid workouts, showing up at Palm Beach Downs, where he trains all his horses. You're getting Hall of Fame jock Edgar Prado. And people saying, Edgar Prado, they don't understand this. Todd Pletcher and Bill Mott have been riding Edgar Prado.
It's good to see, actually. We talked about it in the office the other day. Hall of Famer Edgar's he's been riding under the radar, but in very, very good form, doing some good work with trainer Danny Hertak. I admittedly didn't know what to make of this horse. Maybe they bet him. I made him 5-1 on the line. There's no pedigree whatsoever here. The first foal out of a dam who did win her debut in France, but she wasn't that much. It is Todd. It's a micropole homebred. Tab the tote here. You'd want to see this horse live and taking money.
The other horse is the 3 Swervin. Is the son of productive freshman sire Gervin, debuting for Safi. Got 12 Palmettos workouts showing in preparation, so we'll call it a longer-awaited debut. They've been working this horse a lot. Edgar Zayas gets the call.
Safi's 2-year-olds have been running, haven't they? Wow, they've been running really big. Mr. Ripples, Lord Miles, I believe. And this one, the dam was on race. It's her third foal. One of them that did race wasn't really that much. Took 9 starts to break the maiden. Edgard's here. You mentioned the work. Several of them pretty snappy.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have that Rainbow Six ticket, my Rainbow Six ticket, with a $150,000 gross jackpot guarantee.
It's probably the most beautiful racetrack in the country, to be honest with you.
The background is just beautiful.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the grandstand and the racing.
The weather is beautiful. The facility is phenomenal.
The Gulfstream Championship meet has become one of the top events of the year. You could come out on a Wednesday and see a future Preakness winner.
They're off in the Preakness. The Run Happy 7 Derby.
Got the unique 6.5 down the hillside turf course.
A whole lot of great racing here in California.
And we're off.
We have all 3 surfaces here, the only racetrack in the country to have all 3 surfaces. Being close to the ocean, being surrounded by some of the greatest horses and riders in history, it's amazing.
It's the prettiest thing you've ever seen. There's no one else has a background like we do.
Welcome back to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato. The 5th race is where the Rainbow Six is going to start. I put a $43.20 ticket together. We'll talk about race number 5 in here. Went 4 deep in there. Race 6, my top pick is Harry's on the Beach. Thought he ran okay last time out, but I used Mogaloo and lost to Legend. In race number 7, just too deep with Cause and Mayhem and Coleridge on my ticket. Race number 8, I'm going with Adios Papa Chico, Catalina Express, Cajun Dream. There's my single today, T Cento, the Irish bred. I just think this horse is going to run this afternoon, and especially at the $35,000 level. And 3 deep in the last, and I think I got the logical 3 with the 4 Duvini, Van Dusen, the British bred, and Impulsiveness.
I like it. You don't have my best bet, though, in race 5. That's going to be a problem for you.
Uh-oh. So we'll see how it plays out. Maybe it's going to be a problem for you. We don't know that yet. So the 5th race, mile in the 16th on the turf. Claim is 3 up. Now what is it, 220 down to 16. Full field of 11. You want to do some betting? Let's go. Tell me what I missed here.
Well, this is an aggressive best bet. Admittedly, 5-1 on the morning line for the best distance. But we've talked about this. I got a feeling Amador Sanchez is going to get going here. He did it last winter, won a lot of races. He's had this horse for 3 starts up at Mountaineer. None of those starts.
That's your angle, Mountaineer.
That's my angle. None of those starts, this horse was in for a tag. Okay. Yeah. So he doesn't want to lose this horse because you know why, Ronnie? He knows he's getting back to the turf down here. And now, look at those last 2 turf races here in April and May. It was for a different barn. Now Amador's going to run him for the first time on turf. I think it's go time today.
Yeah, and what'd you make him on the line? 5-1 on the line. I did go with the 11 horse in here, Backchat, who won his only previous race on the Gulfstream Park turf. He's going to return to the grass and drops to the 20 level. He returned from the layoff. He finished that track and fade 6th against 35. 2 lifetime claim is going to mile 70 for Kent Sweezy. Edgar Zayas negotiating the outside draw this afternoon. I thought this horse off that performance, got to deal with the outside post, going a mile in the 16th. But I just thought previous experience, that's the angle I've been using.
Yeah, no, I agree. And this draw is not terrible. It's not good, but it's not terrible at a mile in the 16th. He's got enough of a run up to the turn to get some position.
We both have the 1 and 2nd. Gooch Go Bra is another broke his maiden right here at Gulfstream Park on the turf. Returns, he followed that second place finish against 35-2 lifetime claimers at Saratoga. Then he comes back, he runs that clunker, going 8.5 furlongs on the Aqueduct turf. But it's Danny Gargan, Miguel Vasquez. You would think inconsistent, but this might be the spot.
Check this stat out. This is a wild one, too. Danny and Miguel, you put them together, it's 50% rise. Is that any good?
Yeah.
368 ROI on turf the past 2 years at Gulfstream Park. Gooch Go Bra, I think, is the one to beat if he gets back to the Saratoga race. I don't know. He was crazy wide last time, but, boy, he didn't do any running either.
I got some interest in the number 3 in here more than I can handle. He's an inconsistent sort. He debuts locally after following the maiden score on the grass. Then he comes back and he runs a 2 lifetime claimer on the Monmouth turf. I just thought this for Kelly Breen, Julian Leperoux. If he comes back, he's a bit of a shaky proposition. Yep. I thought maybe he can grab a share in here.
Yeah, the race 2 back makes him competitive in this. Now, he was facing winners for the first time last time. That can be a little bit of a rude awakening for a horse. He'll be a square price. He comes out of a good race, too. The winner came right back to win.
And the 10 horse, just real quickly, that's the other one I used on my ticket because I saw you made him 4-1. That's Moped Dennis.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dropper for Jeremiah Englehart coming out of good turf races up at Saratoga and Belmont earlier this summer. I think they play with a group like this. Jeremiah is very sharp.
Let's go to race number 6 this afternoon, and this one is a 5 furlongs about distance on the Topita. Claim is 3 and up, non-winners of 2 in life, and no scratches. Oh, yeah, scratcher here, the number 5, Major King. That was the morning line favorite. Yeah. Also, this race named for Happy Birthday, Lindsay. And you did go, well, did you have the 5 on top?
I did have the 5 on top.
I didn't have the 5 on top. I had Harry's on the Beach on top. Goes to the Antonio Sanabon after the claim. It cuts back to 5 furlongs. I want to go back and show you this horse's performance on November 12th, was race 11. We're going to show the top of the stretch of the wire. When there's Harry over there, the number 2 in this race, and you just see he just got to find that spot. Now, what I like about this horse, he finally sees the seam on the road. I think you bet this horse that day.
I did.
And there they come. It's a cavalry charge to the wire. And you hear the race call, and it was a dark that night. They're calling every different horse in the race, and all of a sudden they said, hey, look, Harry's on the Beach. He's right there on the wire. I thought he ran a bang-up race in there, so I'm coming back with him, with the Jose Morelos in the saddle, going 5 furlongs, much better angle. I think with a smaller field, he's got a chance to run well.
Yeah, I did bet him. He's on my ticket.
Oh,
we'll
you got
take a look.
I didn't even realize that he was on there.
Good. $16 ticket. We scratched down
I
a little
forgot
bit
the
later.
ticket, yeah.
I mean, you're a little off your game with the World Cup, I think, going on today, right?
That's it, yeah. We were down 2-0. I was all shook up.
$16 on the ticket. 2 deep here. I said the top pick is gone in race number 7. The 4, Causing Mayhem. This is the best race of the day. Coolidge coming back. A brutal post for him. World, a talent, though. 4 deep in the 8th. Top pick is number 4, Vanishing Interest. There's the single, English Painter, a huge favorite in the 9th. And then 2 deep, Impulsiveness and Do Vini. I know you mentioned both of them already.
Yeah, $16, very affordable. Sorry for jumping the gun there with Harrison. I was so excited to show the video. I just thought he ran well. And remember, you picked him last time out. So
I did.
The other horse I used, and also you used on your ticket, is the 4 Mogaloo, who's dropping to the 12.5 level, returning to the Topita. He came within the neck of notching this condition, going 5.5. I was on the Laurel turf. Look at Victor Barboza, 19% with turf to all weather. I wouldn't expect that. MCL Jaramillo handling the surface switch.
Yeah, he's solid. This horse was entered yesterday. He's going to come out and run today. These are good, top-notch connections in a horse where he's run very, very well sprinting on the Topita. The route, I think we can draw a line through. That's what you see on your page. Sprinting, he's got a big second.
Well, let me take a little bit of a break here. Not that we're going to go off the air, just so I don't jump in front of Brian again. That's I want to make sure I take a deep breath. There's that soccer. He's right. Got me all upset. Mile on the Turf is race number 7. Allowance optional claimer, 3-year-olds and up. The optional claiming price is $25,000. Scratch the 6. Also scratch the main track only, or the also eligible, I should say, the 13 Parkland in there. You and I both went with Causing Mayhem. Pray tell why.
Well, let me ask you the question. If Coleridge was in the 4 and Causing Mayhem was in the 11, you picking Coleridge? I am, and I'm making him favorite.
No, I'm not.
No,
but,
okay.
No, it's fair.
Okay, and I would make him favorite on the line too. But this post is a real problem for Coleridge. Conversely, Causing Mayhem has the speed. He's a first-time gelding. He's got a huge turf race. Celestial City who won that race last time, our buddy Shug.
Yeah.
He's in the Grade 1 Del Mar Derby today, okay? That's a big-time race. He's earned over $400,000. He came back to win the Grade 2 Hill Prince up in New York. That is a big-time race this horse comes out of.
Well, let's go back and revisit Coleridge's last race, October 12th. This is race 8 at Keeneland. Now you're going to see Coleridge is the number 7, and I picked it up going into the turn. You're going to see momentarily where the horse just gets, just looking for room the whole time, and he just gets, settled back, and he's got to find that spot. Here you're in, you're in the jackpot behind all these horses, and then, you get sort of shaken out of the whole thing. And when he turns for home, he runs pretty good after finding the place. He tips out, and I thought he ran exceptionally well in this race. Now, he closes late. He only finishes 4th, but he was stuck behind those horses and actually got shuffled back more than we saw it on the air there. And I just think he's going to run certainly well today. And as you mentioned, maybe the post, I was always going with the 4. I just thought he was the logical one. Bill Mott, 18%, second start back. That was off a long layoff.
Yeah, and he's got a monster win over our turf course. He absolutely exploded in deep stretch during the championship meet. I like this horse a lot. I think he's got a world of talent, but he's facing a good horse and causing mayhem, and he's taking all the worst of it from the parking lot today, unfortunately.
What do you do with the number 8 in here? Newsbreak is making his first start since finishing 3rd behind that Next Out Stakes winner, Camp Hope, Now it was an allowance race, but it was last October. It's Mike Maker, but he's got this son of American Pharaoh firing bullets for the first race in almost 14 months.
Yeah, you use him underneath is what you do, I think. But those workouts are off the page. Julian is here. That's a positive. He was a good second in our first turf race yesterday, riding the favorite. And this horse comes out of a good race. It's just what kind of dust do we have to shake off today? Good thing is, Ronnie, he's coming off this long layoff. He's not in for a tag. That is a positive.
So we'll see how this race plays out this afternoon. Race number 7, great betting race. Let's go to race number 8 today. This one is 6 furlongs, maiden special weight, state-bred 2-year-olds. We did have an early scratch of the number 5, and here's Sweet Side. You went with the number 4 horse, and this is your long shot, right? I think you said.
No, this is just a little bit, maybe a little value. We do lose the 5 who comes out, who's 5-1. I don't know. It's first time Gustavo Delgado. We haven't really seen him a lot lately, but he's back. He's putting some horses in, and I think this horse is going to be live. Has worked very, very well. Who's he reached for? Edgard. He's going to run a horse not for the tag against Florida Breds. I had a very problem with this race, Ron. This is a tough race.
The number 2, Adios Papa Chico, was hoping to notch the elusive maiden victory after getting bumped between horses. He finished 2nd at this level in distances. Trained at Vaughn Herd. He's got Lionel Reyes. This horse has just always been around. It just can't seem to close the deal.
You know what bugs me about this horse? You look at his figures, bad, good, bad, good. It says he might be coming back today. He struggled putting back-to-back races together.
Yeah, so, I mean, you just... I don't know for sure what to do. I went a little deep in this race. What about the 3, Catalina Express? Hoping to save more firepower for the stretch run. He prompted the pace, and he finished that wide 3rd behind Adios Papa Chico for Angel Rodriguez, Embassy El Jaramillo. So they're going to rematch it today.
He's quietly run very well in both career starts. He was 31-1 on debut. He was 11-1 last time. You'll probably get value again today on a horse that seems to be moving forward that might fall in under the radar.
What about Gentleman Jerry? You got highly rated in here for Mr. Kelly Breen Jr.
We talked about Kelly earlier. This was a horse that ran in an open maiden at Monmouth, and he was 3-1 that day with Paco. Now, Paco's not here, but, I'm going to give him another chance. He's in with Florida Breds today. Kelly does such a good job. The works are big since he got down to Florida. Let's give him another try today. The rail's a little problem.
Lasix off?
Yeah.
Not a big fan?
I don't know. It could be. It could be. We'll see. The dam was nice, too. She was 5 for 8, won almost $400,000.
Race 9 this afternoon is where I got my best bet of the afternoon. It's a mile on the turf. It's a starter, optional claimer for 2-year-olds. Started for $35 or less, or the optional tag of $35,000. I know English Paint is the one to beat in here, but I did go with Ticento, the Irish bred, whose only previous route race in the States was a troubled trip in the Grade 3 Del Mar Juvenile Turf. Stretches out on the grass. Now, he showed little interest when finishing 6th and last. It was a strong group of 75 optional claimers. That was going 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. I'm putting a line right through that race. More importantly, I think this gelding is spotted perfectly against 35 condition claimers. That was my angle in here, and I took no stock of. You just read who was in, that Tapeta race. Those were some pretty good horses in there. So I'm keying off that.
No, I agree. And look, at this horse was 7-1 in a 14-horse Del Mar Juvenile Turf. So, making his first start in the U.S. Now he's in for 35. It's obviously not a great sign, but, Jack Sisterson does a good job putting horses in spots where they're going to be competitive. I would think T. Ciento is that horse today. You're going to get a square price because they have to bet the heck out of English Painter, right?
Yeah, English Painter now in the Saffie Joseph Jr. Barn is the son of Munnings. Let's go back and show you his race. This was October 7th at the Meadowlands. Just going to pick it up before the 8-bowl home. There's English Painter and just gets in a dogfight right to the wire and back and forth with the horse on the inside and ends up winning this race by a nose. I thought it was a top-notch performance.
Yeah, and it was a fast race for this kind of group. 69 on the buyer. He added blinkers in this race, too, and seemed to wake up, seemed to show a little more focus. This was for Shug McGahee. Saffie Joseph Jr. is going to take over today. We'll wish Saffie good luck up in New York with White Abario in the Grade 1 Cigar Mile, too.
Yeah, in that race, I could have never called it. It was so just back and forth,
tight.
back and forth. And Edgar Zayas, and Saffie, he's good with everything. About over 25% with horses, new additions to his shed row. What about the number 3 horse in here, Nova Fola, who will give the grass a try after proving he can handle a distance of ground? He defeated those 35 maidens going a mile, 70 yards on the Tapeta. Ralph Nix, Miguel Vasquez, Surface Switch. Maybe you get a little bit of a price in here, leading rider. I think this horse might run well in this spot.
Everybody should be a price because English Painter at 7-5 on the morning line is going to take all the money. If it's not English Painter, it could be anybody.
Right.
And this is the type of horse. He woke up routing on the Tapeta. He showed he can do it. Now we're going to try turf. Why not? We got the leading rider, too.
We'll go to race number 10 this afternoon. This one is a mile and a 16th on the turf. Claimers 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life. Scratch the 2, the 5, and the number 10. And you did go with the number 3, Impulsiveness, who's really free-falling to the 20 level today.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but maybe it's just time to try to pick up a win, and if somebody wants to claim him, so be it. The races he's coming out of in New York are just eons better than this group. Here's the Hall of Famer. It's a Hall of Famer combo here. Todd and Edgar Prado getting on another live horse. Great to see.
He's a $280,000 Ridgeling by Quality Road. So I did go with the 4 Duvini, who's dropping to the 20 level after showing speed and getting caught late in back-to-back allowance races, going a mile and a 16th on the Monmouth turf. Kelly Breen, Mr. Monmouth, has Julian Leperoux trying to steal the nightcap, I think, from Honor with the pace today. I think Duvini's a sneaky in here, especially if this horse can get maybe an uncontested lead.
And we've talked about it yesterday. Julian, as good as there is, loping along on the lead. If we don't have the winner in the top 3, I'm not going to be alive in anything because one of those 3 horses is supposed to win.
Yeah, Van Dusen, the other one, the British bred, dropping to the 16 level. He included that 25 maiden score. Cologne, he chased against 2 lifetime claimers, going a mile 70. Sets up perfectly for Jonathan Thomas. Edgar Zayas in the saddle. Really nice card. So great to be back on the turf and doping out these races.
The Coleridge race is phenomenal, and the deep competitive nature of these turf races. We've waited a long time, and it's coming to fruition now, and everybody's going to reap the benefits, I think.
That's how we see the 10 races. We got almost $50,000 already in the pick 5 pool, super high 5. But here's our lightning round today, and look who's back tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. We've talked a lot over the past week or so, the names that are popping back up here at Gulfstream Park as we ready for the championship meet, and I don't think any are bigger than Luis Saez. Won the title last year 3 times overall, and I don't know, Ronnie. For my money, he's as good as there is.
He's my favorite rider, and more importantly, he's one of the nicest
Great
guys
guy.
You'll ever want to meet. We got our best bets in long shot today.
Yeah.
And I like them. They're all different. It makes it fun for us. Your best bet is in what, race 5?
Yeah, a little bit of a bold one, I guess. The best distance is the best bet at 5-1.
Yeah, so I see how you did that.
Yeah.
And mine is in race number 9. It's T Cento 9-2. I'm trying to beat the big favorite in there. Yep. We'll see how that plays out this afternoon. And then your long shot?
Yeah, my long shot is Sea Hunter. It's not a huge long shot. As I said, I kind of struggled finding a good number today. Sea Hunter, he should offer some kind of value.
I'm in the same book.
Yeah.
I came up my long shot today, if you want to call it that, back chat at 9-2. It just wasn't one of those where you can point to 20-1 that had a chance. I mean, you can point to 21s that have no chances. And we got 5 turf races tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's just, day in, day out now. That's how it's going to be. And Aban is coming back tomorrow and what he hopes to be, I would assume, a big 2023. And this is him winning the McKnight, the Grade 2, and he is so good. He won the Jerkins going 2 miles. I wonder / worry if this is a little short, a little sharp for him tomorrow. He wants to run all day, but it's a starting off point for Todd Pletcher and the Connections.
Yeah, just to see all these great horses coming back and everything like that. And so that we got good things going on. But what about up at our sister track, Laurel? They got a big day up there.
Yeah, they got a couple $200,000 Maryland stakes for 2-year-olds, none more so than Post Time, who looks to go for 3 in a row. And both of his career wins for Brittany Russell have been dominant. And here he is at 2-1 here, running off and winning an optional claimer against Open Company. He's evens on the morning line, dipping in with State Breds. Johnny's from Albany is in there too. Do you know him?
No, I don't know
Okay.
Johnny from Albany, but I know that I'm upset that I'm going to miss the Holiday Stakes Carnival up there at Laurel.
So take note of that. Big doings up there, and always good to see our sister track running some big stakes.
Yeah, so that's us for the first part. We'll turn it over to Pete Aiello. He'll give you the jockey changes, the scratches, everything. Then we'll be back for race number 1.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place.
We back.
Northern Dancer, winner of the Florida Derby.
Yeah.
All the history, all these great horses, trainers, jockeys.
It is Barbaro to the final furlong. He is a neck in front. Barbaro wins!
It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
Sunday silence surges to the front.
First day, opening day of championship meet, I was kind of starstruck. You're watching LeBron James, and then next thing you know, you're playing basketball against him. That's how I felt when I'm riding with Donnie V, riding with Irad, Luis.
So many famous people come, Post Malone, Pharrell, J-Lo was there. It's epic.
The weather is beautiful. The facility is phenomenal.
It's all about Knicks Go. Knicks Go makes it 4 in a row.
It's one of the most beautiful tracks in the country, surrounded by some of the greatest horses and riders. It's amazing.
And hello again, everybody, and welcome to a Saturday afternoon of world-class thoroughbred racing live in Hallandale Beach, Florida at Gulfstream Park. 10 races on the program here this afternoon featuring a jackpot guarantee in the Rainbow Six of $150,000. It all gets underway in 21 minutes with a 12:10 first race post time. We'd like to wish our simulcast partners a pleasant good morning. Fans joining us from all across North America and all across the world. Here in Hallandale Beach, it's beautiful with temperatures in the low 80s, partly cloudy skies. The main track is fast. The Tapeta track is always fast. And the turf course is firm. With that in mind, and if you have your programs handy, here are the program changes for today's races. First race, first half of the early daily double, the start of the 50-cent early pick 5. In the first race, an overweight for number 7, Tumiga, 2 pounds over the listed weight. Go to the second race. In the second race, on the Tapeta track at a distance of 1 1/8. Scratch the 1, 4, 5, and 7. 1, 4, 5, and 7 withdrawn. There's a jockey change for number 6, Boss Hog Them Dukes. Make the rider David Baracco. David Baracco rides the 6, Boss Hog Them Dukes. Take out 1, 4, 5, and 7. no try, no super high five, no show wagering. Go to the third race now. The third race is the start of a pick 3. In the third race, scratch number 7, Take Care of Business. In the fourth race, it's 6.5 furlongs on the main track. It's a field of 8. There are no changes. Race number 5 starts the Rainbow 6. We're on the turf. In the fifth race, scratch number 7, Invictive. Number 7, Invective, withdrawn from race number 5. Race 6 at 5 furlongs on Tapeta track. In race number 6, scratch number 5, Major King. That's race 6, scratch 5, Major King. Go to the 7th race. In the 7th race, scratch number 6, Shady Czar, and scratch the 13, Parkland. 6 and 13, withdrawn from race 7. We're on the turf. 8th race to start the late pick 3 at 6 furlongs, scratch the 5, Sweet Side. That's race 8, scratch the 5. 9th race has a field of 8 on turf. There are no changes. 10th and final race on turf at a mile and a 16th. Scratch 2, Tinker Tailor, 5, Fast Payday, and 10, Winter's Ghost. 2, 5, and 10 withdrawn from race number 10. With the 10-race format, the 20-cent Rainbow 6 begins with race number 5 today. You're playing for a gross jackpot pool guarantee in the Rainbow 6 of $150,000. 19 minutes now to first race post time, and wagering windows are open on all levels. The main track is fast, the Tapeta track is fast, and the turf course is firm. We're certainly glad to have you with us. We hope you have an enjoyable afternoon at the races, and good luck today.
It is time for the early pick 5 at Gulfstream Park. The first 5 races on the card, a 50-cent base wager, and a low 15% takeout. Don't miss out on the early pick 5 starting now at Gulfstream Park.